Rabble Rabble, you don't know say the one and only NASH-I Rabble Danger, and on this platform we do things different. Rabble Rabble, straight Rabblingz.
This segment of the Rabble Rabble Show is brought to you by Caribbean Garment Delight, Dirt Works Entertainment, Chris Cuts, Natty Garment, Little Shanai, Rabblingz Entertainment, Project X Entertainment.
Remember to like, subscribe and ring the notification bell. Rabble Rabble. Currently, you know say a conversation sparked between me and the Rabblingz them, and that conversation was about if a prison inmate should be allowed to get proper medical care. Rabblingz and viewers, in the comment section, just tell me what you think. Why a conversation like this spark? We have one of the most influential person of the dancehall and in Jamaican space currently behind bars. And who me attack? Vybz Kartel. Ongoing debate been going on if Vybz Kartel need urgently medical attention or not. Or this is just some government conspiracy for get him out. Rabblingz, tell me in the comment section below. But later on in the show, we are going to have Dr. Peter Saul explain Kartel medical condition. Rabble Rabble, straight Rabblingz. Back to what we are saying, should a prison inmate allow medical care to improve their life? Rabble Rabble.
So this debate is going down in Kentucky as we speak.
Tell the Rabblingz what's happening with that inmate.
He's fighting for a court order to require the state to arrange hip replacement surgery.
What kind of crime convicted for?
Now, I'm going to give you a little backstory, and this is what makes it so interesting. He was convicted in 1991 of shooting two brothers to death, then hiding their bodies in an unused septic tank. Very graphic.
So what's the proceeding of his medical condition now?
This request has been turned down twice by a federal judge.
Why so? It's just a hip surgery.
And it may seem like no big deal, but then you hear the price tag, it's $50,000. So that's why people are thinking, well, taxpayer money, should it be funded, should it not be funded?
Yes, 50,000 US is a lot if you convert it to Jamaican currency. But viewers and Rabblingz, I could get these thoughts of these beautiful ladies, what they think about the whole imprisonment and medical attention.
Well, you know, I was a medical director at a all-male prison.
How long you been working there?
For about 4 years, and we ran into this issue a lot. I think, you know, when we go back in time to the 70s, actually about 40 years ago, the United States Supreme Court actually said that it is against the 8th Amendment for us to deny an inmate care that he really, really needs.
So you think the government should not neglect no prison inmate of medical care?
I think what oftentimes happens, and probably happening in this case, lives would probably be a little easier, but they're deferring it. They don't want to get one right now.
But suppose it's a life-threatening situation, real emergency.
This were an emergency surgery that he needed, and he wasn't getting everyday type of care, managing his pain, then I would be concerned.
So basically, you're saying if you allegedly kill somebody, you should not get medical attention.
So when you're incarcerated like that, what ends up happening is your rights are taken away, and you can't really have that same decision-making capability that you and I can, or our parents can.
Rabblingz and viewers, leave a comment below and tell me what you think. Doctor, what is your take on the conversation?
This is a complex issue. We've all cared for inmates. I've delivered babies with the woman is handcuffed to the hospital bed, and we as doctors take that out. We don't care. They're a human being. We took an oath.
So you don't care if someone take a life. You are there to save a life. That is your job.
Right. And so, and that is very emotionally and ethically difficult for us at times. But then if you think about it more, you know, from a philosophical standpoint, there are people who are not incarcerated who need it, can't get it. And so I don't know. I don't know where I stand on this. I think it's a complicated issue.
But Rabblingz and viewers, leave a comment and make me know what you think. Rabble Rabble, straight Rabblingz. the world big, and them say when you travel, you see more, you learn more, broader your horizon, more knowledgeable towards things. Them say you want hide something from we, put it in a book. But from where there, what I a fool with the internet. Jah know me never know say them thing ya a go on. And Rabblingz, me want to take heed a what go on. Me not defend, no criminal, but sometimes some people get convicted innocently. And at the end of the day, we are all human, so we're all useful. Look what go on in India, Rabblingz. And comment and tell me if something like this no fair go on in a Jamaican prison. This is a doctor convicted of a crime, but at the end of the day, them find him useful. Listen.
It has helped me. It increased my self-confidence, and so I gained my original confidence and original mindset. So I think when I go out, I will be a normal.
In a case like this, you call it real rehabilitation. I get for do something what you really love. Imagine behind 4 big walls, closed door, 24 hours. But at the end of the day, you can get for do something what you really love. Rabblingz and viewers, comment and tell me if you think that person would have come out as a better person. But Rabblingz, there's a question. What government do towards rehabilitation in our prison at Jamaica? Cause once you train the mind, you get better results. Better know that. Make you hear what go on. Yeah,
so once he started all these things, interaction with the prisoners, seeing the patients, emergency patients, apart from doing minor surgeries, he's looking after the patients, general patients also, in the evening time, night time when we are not there. So he's been very useful, and he has come out of his depression.
Earlier we have to call the doctor to come from the residence. It used to take time. Now that I have in-house doctor who is a qualified doctor, though he might have been convicted by the courts, but he is a person who is qualified to look after the health of the person.
You have a thing called recondition. You have to recondition the mind sometimes to changes. And at that fair go on in our prison at Jamaica. You can't make the people them think about just one thing. You have to recondition the mind to think about a next thing. And after imprisonment, that's how you have some good rehabilitation go on. Rabblingz, leave a comment and tell me if you want criminal come up back as criminal. Or the government can make a person a better person. Here we go.
And what greater happiness he will get. There's no greater happiness than pursuing his profession, pursuing his vocation inside the prison. So we get given opportunity. So it's a win-win situation. He is spending his time usefully. He is useful. Therefore, he is respected. He feels wanted even though he is in the prison. Psychologically and otherwise, in a big way it helps him. And it helps him to calm down and release his tension. The stress level comes down because of work. On the other hand, the prisoners benefit.
Remember in a Rabblingz, them say one hand can't clap. So if 200 make them clap together, help each other. We are human beings and we're all useful. Tell me what you think. Remember me tell you say we do things different. And here we are going. We are going to our next story, and it have a big twist. It involves politics, family, and medical care. Rabblingz, hear that one, yeah. Here we are going. Leave a comment and tell me what you think. Remember, me tell you say we are travel the world with the inmate them and see what going with medical care.
2 sisters released from prison early under one condition. One sister donates a kidney to the other. And now that they're free, there's a big problem. Jamie and Gladys Scott are too overweight for kidney surgery. Combined, they need to lose about 160 pounds. So if they don't shed the weight, can these sisters be sent back to the big house, the Hooskow? Our legal panel weighs in. Tad Nelson, former prosecutor, Mary Frances Prevost joins us now. She is a defense attorney. Good to see you both. Tad, let me start with you. You know, if I'm the governor, I think that before I agree to release them, I'm going to try to find out if they're kidney compatible. And apparently, that didn't happen. That's one of the problems here, too. A mistake?
Yeah, oh, absolutely a mistake. And that's what's wrong with this governor. You know, I'm down here in Houston, Texas. We have a saying about governors. Governors always want to do the right thing as long as it's right for them. And that's what he did here. He's pandering to the African Americans by letting these people out. And at the same time, he's masking it as saving the state $200,000 a year in medical bills. If you're going to do that kind of thing, you might want to look into some things and make sure you have all the facts. And clearly, he didn't have any of the facts here.
You know, Mary Frances, I do want to bring up some pertinent facts. These two women have done 16 years for an armed robbery. Nobody was severely injured in the case. They got away with $11. Nobody was killed, and they were given double life sentences. I mean, I have problems with that sentence and even doing 16 years. Do you?
Absolutely. That is just cruel and unusual. And I've handled robbery cases, serious robbery cases, armed robbery cases, and you would never see that type of a sentence for something like this, I think, in California. So it was totally outrageous. I'm not offended that they got out, even though one sister can't give the other sister the kidney, because for any reason that they can get out underneath this really unconscionable sentence is okay by me.
But you know what, Tad? I looked up Section 301 of the National Organ Transplant Act. And guess what?
Right.
It prohibits the sale of organs. Specifically, it says the exchange of what's called valuable consideration. In other words, that's money or the equivalent. Well, that's what's happening here, isn't it? I mean, she gets out a jail-free card. That's an exchange of benefits. That's illegal, isn't it?
Oh, that is 100% illegal, and that's where the problem comes from. We're crossing medical ethics. We've got legal ethics. We've got laws that are being violated, all because this governor is pandering to get votes. And when his base is, you know, not that this is a political discussion, but if he's pandering to his Republican primary base, he's got to do these things. He didn't look into what he was doing, and that's why this is going to be such a problem down the line, because I can tell you, these ladies, they have to lose 160 pounds. That's an 8th grader. They're not going to lose that weight. It's not going to happen. Then he's going to be coming up. Do I throw him back in jail? And I can promise you, that will not happen. He will not put these women back in jail.
He could have just commuted their sentences, and then he wouldn't be in this mess. But look, Mary Frances, if this is allowed, I mean, what happens next? This is a real slippery slope. Won't every prisoner in America suddenly put their name on, organ donor lists? Get out of jail free card.
Well, that could be a problem, but I don't think that was what happened here. I think that Governor Haley Barbour was trying to mask the fact that he's been under fire for making racist comments recently in interviews in magazines and in the newspaper. And so, I think that's what's happening.
I don't think there's any evidence that that's what motivated him here. I think he was trying to do the right thing and trying to save a life. And in that respect, I suppose, he should be applauded, but it just creates a really bad precedent, doesn't it?
Well, it does, but I have to disagree with you with regards to it not being a political act. He's not going to come out and say, I'm trying to do this so that it masks my racist comments. He's just doing it, and we can infer by that, because he would have let them out, a year ago.
Yeah.
I gotta leave it at that. The time is perfect.
Give me your last 10-second rebuttal. I'm out of time here.
Well, the bottom line is, all he had to do was commute the sentences, give them a pardon, let them go on their way. There's still some responsibility about who has to pay for it, but he could have done the right thing for the right reason. That's what I don't think he did.
All right. You know what? Maybe he should do that now. It's not too late. He can still commute the sentence.
I agree.
All right.
Exactly.
Mary Frances Prevost, Tad Nelson, good to see you both. Thanks.
Thank you.
Jano, big twist, politics in everything, even in healthcare. But here we go on Rabblingz. We have Dr. Peter Sal in the building, and him go tell we go on with Vybz Kartel allegedly health.
Graves' disease is an autoimmune disease affecting the thyroid gland, where the body produces antibodies So the thyroid becomes increasingly active and produces symptoms often of weight loss, of bulging eyes or exophthalmos, people feeling very nervous, feeling very sweaty. It's like the body is working faster than it should be.
So doctor, how can you know when you have a disease like that?
Graves' disease is diagnosed first of all by finding out that somebody's got an overactivity of the thyroid, and this is a very easy test to do, simple blood test. Then we look for antibodies to the thyroid, in particular long-acting thyroid stimulating antibodies. The person will also have a scan of their thyroid. This is usually an ultrasound scan now to sort of check that there are none of these adenomas or more serious types of growth in the gland.
Doctor, tell the Rabblingz them if there is any cure or treatment for a disease like that.
Graves' disease is treated by trying to reduce the activity of the thyroid tissue.
Oh, you do something like that, doctor?
And there's three ways we can do this. We can remove some of the thyroid tissue. Now the problem there is that you've got to remove just the right amount, because if you remove too much, you'll go underactive. If you don't remove enough, you won't have cured the person. And the other thing is that it leaves a scar, and there's a risk in the operation of damaging one of the nerves in the neck. But in the right hands, the right person, it's good treatment.
So what is the next way?
Drugs to try and reduce the activity, effectively poison the thyroid gland. The problem with them is they have to be taken on a fairly regular basis for a period.
You said 3, what is the next one?
And then the other treatment is that you expose the thyroid to radiotherapy to try and sort of damage it that way to reduce its activity. So it's, each one has got its advantages and disadvantages. So what you'd expect is the specialist will talk to the patient and give them the pros and cons, and it's a decision made between the specialist and the patient.
Rabble, straight Rabblingz. Thank you, Dr. Peter Sall. So people, viewers and Rabblingz, on the things say that really are gone? On the feel say the government for do more for the people them are in prison? Leave a comment below and make us know. Rabble, straight Rabblingz. Remember to like, comment and share, and remember ring the notification bell. Rabble.